welcome back to my channel. Today's video I thought I would show you a little spring illustration to sort of close out the spring season. So yeah, let's get drawing. Hi everyone, so today we're going to do a tulip illustration, something that I wanted to do forever, so I finally got the chance to actually do a tulip here. Right now I just did a tulip and a heart emoji, sort of like a combination of all these colors, and putting it together in all these colors that sort of come together. So here I'm just gonna make everything one color because it's easier to add shadows and stuff. So this was probably the most simplest way that I could actually do this. I think I should take off my jacket. I think it's being too loud. Here I have all these tulips in basically one color, which sort of makes it interesting, you know, and adding all the shadow that sort of comes together in a way that I didn't imagine would actually happen. And next I added all these leaves and stuff to sort of make it come together like it's one of a kind and amazing at the same time. Just can't imagine what else I can create with this art. I mean, it's just amazing what I can do with everything that I have and being able to create something that is as awesome as. So before I do that, I'm gonna duplicate all the stuff here, all the tulips, and put them together in a way that I didn't think would actually happen. And the fact that I am doing this means that I have the courage to be able to create something that is totally different than I imagined before. I never actually paid attention to all the art that I actually did. Sort of amazing in a way that I think that art is something that everyone should do and should help them become who they are, and I wouldn't know where to begin without art being part of. So I'm just gonna duplicate all of these tulips and stuff and sort of create like a 3 tulips. I want to add more, but I don't think this is gonna happen because I feel like it would ruin the vibe if I did something that's completely different than I usually do. I mean, to me, it's just speechless, and the amount of time that I actually spent on making this is surprising, but I think that I can create something that I didn't even imagine that I would be able to create. Every time I create this art, I'm like very mind blown about what it can actually do, and I'm trying my best to make it quiet, but you know, art is kind of like chaotic sometimes. Try to find the silver lining between all of them just makes it so much more better than it usually is. And I don't know, for this art I just wanted to focus on the beauty of spring and how new things can blossom into wonderful, beautiful colors. And using the color pink, you don't get that much colors that really speak to you. It's just very like me to add pink. I think I didn't add any purple, which I know is shocking. I usually add a bunch of purple, but this time I thought I would go more of a spring classic pink style one that I can do. Here I'm just gonna add a varies of all the stuff that coming together. Adding a tree, which I think is a lot more like me, because I would do anything to add a bunch of trees in one drawing that I think would look absolutely fabulous. I think trees are basically my staple. I think for every art that I make, I feel like a tree brings that kind of warmth that we all look for, and I think adding this tree would probably be a step up from what I usually do, which is like doing a lot of abstract designs, but I wanted to do more illustrations, and I felt like since I haven't actually done an illustration for you guys. It's been a while. I did film this a long time ago, so just don't be mad at me if you think it's very outdated, because I think when I was doing this, I sort of like it was actually spring. Now it's close to the end of spring, but I don't know if this was the right choice to do it now, but since it is now, I thought I would totally do it and finish it up. I don't know, I just felt like it was the time to do something spring related. I don't think I did an illustration that was spring related. Maybe the cat was sort of like what I was going towards, but that cat was very random. I just wanted to do something more different than my usualness. So yeah, here I'm just gonna add the cherry blossom tree that you can see right here. I already colored the parts that you don't really have to see all of it, but I sort of put it together in this beautiful pink color, and next I'm going to add is some leaves to sort of make it feel like an extra piece of the tree, and sort of add more leaves and texture, more color, make it more look like a cherry blossom tree, because I feel like without the shadows and the color, I felt like it would be so much more bland if I didn't add this sort of aspect to it. I feel like it wouldn't be what it is today without all of the curiosity that I have towards all these cherry blossom trees, and I sort of thought it would be a revelation to add something that I absolutely love. I feel like I put so much effort into creating all this art, but I felt like putting the two things that I like together, and I don't think I ever drew a tulip. Maybe I have, maybe in my short form content, but I haven't actually shown how I drew a tulip. Just adding shadows and stuff and making sure that it's separate so then you can see the color really come together. You can see my noisy bracelet. I don't know, this thing makes so much more noise than I imagined, but that was good. So while we're talking about that, I did add some grass while we were speaking. I wasn't actually paying attention to the thing, so you just gotta steer clear of me there. So right here I'm just adding some light green, and for the back I just decided to add more like grass and stuff to it to make it look more bigger, because I feel like it will look like sort of like a valley, but like an endless amount of grass that is in the back of the illustration. This was probably the part that I hated the most, because I had to go back and forth trying to figure out how exactly I do this, because I haven't exactly done a challenge like this. I don't think it's really a challenge, but to me it felt like a big deal to be able to do this. I should have just put the light green, then just put dark green on the top of it, just called it a day. I think that would have saved a lot of time, because I went back and forth trying to figure out exactly how to make this more realistic and more cool at the same time, because I felt like this art really depended on my visual eyes and sort of like what I saw when I was thinking of this. I felt like I never actually did this, never actually took the courage to be able to do something like this. I know it doesn't sound as big as you think it is, but to me it is a big deal to being able to, I feel like expand my creativity, not just one thing that I do every day. I felt like it wasn't me, because I don't know, I just went on a ramble there, but I didn't know how to exactly like tell you about, like, I don't know. We're just gonna continue with this art. I think I did finally do it. I don't know what exactly I did, but I felt like I bridged the gap between them. I felt like this art, I know it sounds like very simple, but I feel like it's a tedious thing to be kind of like perfect with the art, but know that whatever you're doing is just exactly the way that you imagined it in your head, and it's just all these ideas that come to your mind, and then you're like, how am I gonna execute this well? But then it did take a lot of trial and error, but I think I perfected it. Next time I'll be like, how did I do this? Then I can look back at this video and go like, I actually did this. Like, this felt like a sort of like a game changer to me, because I felt like I should add more like challenges to myself to be able to do this. I mean, digital art, it's really easy to do, but it also can be complex at the same time. Knowing which brushes to use, when to use a shadow, when to not. It's sort of like a fight in your head, trying to get it right to where you like it. So I just ended up just making it simple. I just didn't want it to be too much going on there. I just added some green grass in the front, and you can see the sort of looks like the grass is like very long. Like there's like some kind of like grass field behind the tulips. That's what exactly I wanted, and I think I did a wonderful job with that by adding all these many little features to this drawing, to this illustration. I think it sort of made it look amazing. I mean, I didn't think that it would turn out this good, but it did. So next was the sky. The sky was probably the part where I'm like, phew, like I got this. So then I added some clouds there, and then I'm gonna smudge it using the smudge tool. I felt like it adds some little movement to the art, because art is not always like still, it's always moving. When you don't see it, basically the sky just keeps on moving around the world, and I sort of wanted to capture the movement of clouds, because clouds are never still. Neither are tulips, because they wilt, they die, then they come up back next year. So we're just they're probably still tulips out there. I don't think they're actually gone, but they will be gone, I think in a week maybe. My tulips are definitely gone. The red ones the wind just blows them away and sort of ruins it. So anyways, we are finishing up this illustration. I'm sorry about the rambling part. You know, I really care about my art, so I just want to say that bit, how challenging it can be to be able to create something out of a blank canvas. To me, this art really speaks to me. I felt like I did a good job of illustrating that part of art. I felt like it was kind of special that I can be able to create this amazingness, and yeah, I think I'm just gonna add some lettering called Springtime there in the black. You'll see it come up there, yeah, right there, because I felt like I needed to add my handwriting in it, because I felt like it was time that I did something actually different in my art, which is adding text. This is my actual handwriting. I know I have amazing handwriting. So anyways, I just thought that it would be nice to add some kind of lettering to it, because I want to feel like me, because I really need to do this every time, because I feel like it makes my art kind of special, adding this stuff to it. So yeah, that was today's video. I really enjoyed just making it, having fun with you guys, and just hope that this inspires you to do more art and sort of step out of that comfort zone and out of that bubble, and hopefully this will make you creative again. So yeah, it's been Artsense, and yeah, hope you guys enjoyed my video. Make sure to subscribe and like this video, and I'll see you guys next week. And yeah, have a nice day, everyone. Yeah, so that has been Artsense, and I'm out.